Deku and Momo's feelings are growing. But what happens next? Welcome to part 2. After a few minutes we can see the freckled man who was breathing heavily hidden in the wall behind the academy. Izuku, I finally managed to get away from that madman. The freckled boy calmed down a little and the only thing that went through his mind was that moment with the brunette. The image of Momo's lips was present in Izuku's mind. He blushed slightly, shaking his head as he said, "Remember you like Uraka, don't forget it, don't forget it." The image of Momo and her lips close to his predominated more and more. Izuku, damn it. It will be her fault if I fall in love with her. Although, on second thought, it wouldn't be bad. No, but what things I say, although that will happen, she and I belong to different worlds. Besides, it's not like she's going to choose me, that will never happen. On the other hand, we can see a certain brunette who was shouting Izuku's name through the halls of the academy. Momo, where did those two go? The brunette was breathing heavily, the reason was because she had chased Claude so that he would not kill Izuku. Momo, I hope Izuku is okay. The brunette blushed as she remembered how Izuku's lips had been close to hers. Momo shook her head saying, What are you thinking about, Momo? That was an accident, and he likes Uraka. But I wonder if Izuku would have kissed me if Claude's hadn't arrived. She brought her finger to her lips, slightly blushing. If it had been like that, even if it was an accident, it would have been my first kiss. She looked up and saw Claude's, who was walking through the halls, somewhat tired. Claude's, damn, that shorty is very fast. Next time I'll kill him. Momo, seeing him, scolded him for trying to kill Izuku. Claude's, but Miss Momo, he was about to do indecent things to her. Momo, huh? Izuku is not capable of doing something like that. Claude's, so? Why were the two of them alone in that room? My eyes saw perfectly that he had her against the wall about to kiss her. Momo blushed at the way he said it. That W was an accident. Claude's, still, as long as I'm here, I won't let that broccoli with legs do anything to you. I respect your relationship, I say this out of courtesy, but to be honest. From the depths of my being I detest their relationship, I simply detest that brat of a boyfriend. Momo, well, you'll have to learn to respect Izuku whether you like it or not, since he will be with me and I won't trade him for anyone else. After that the bell rang indicating that lunchtime was over. Momo just turned around and returned to the classroom. Certainly both the brunette and the freckled boy had not been able to eat lunch. Izuku took a deep breath upon hearing the bell to enter the classroom. The freckled boy stealthily left where he was, hoping not to find Claude's on the way. Izuku was able to arrive safely to his classroom, but he arrived 5 minutes late for which he was scolded by his teacher Namuri Kayama. After being scolded, the freckled boy went to sit in his place with a tired expression on his face. Momo, seeing him in his thoughts, would say, I'm sorry Izuku. The hours in class had passed relatively normally until the end of classes. The young people were leaving the room. Bakugo, hey Deku. What are you going to do now? Kirishima, Kaminari, Mina and the board. What was his name? Kyoka, who are you calling a fucking Muslim board? Bakugo, do you see another board here in the living room? Izuku just laughed a little. Bakugo, anyway, they ask if you want to come eat with us. Izuku, I'm sorry, but I can't go with you this time. It's just that I have other plans. Sorry guys. Mina with a mischievous look would say. Hey, don't tell me you have plans with a girl, Midoriya-kun? Kirishima, by the way, old man, how did it go the other day with the advice I gave you? I hope your date was nice. These words were heard by a certain brunette who quietly said. Appointment? Izuku, they were very helpful, thank you Kirishima. Mina, Izuku, you still haven't answered me. Are you going out with a girl? Izuku, no, of course not. Mina, yes, let's say I believe you, she said while winking at him. A certain dark-skinned girl saw this and just let out a little laugh. Bakugo, well then see you nerd. After saying that the boys left the room. Izuku put his things in his backpack, a certain brunette approached him asking. Izuku-kun, do you want to go out to eat with me? The brown-haired girl was a little blushing. Izuku blushed a little when he saw Uraka so close to him. But he glanced at the brunette, who, upon seeing him, raised her thumb as a sign that she should accept. Izuku looked at the brown-haired girl again and replied. I would love to but I can't, I'm sorry. Uraka would say somewhat sadly. I see, then it will be for another day I suppose. See you Izuku-kun. After saying that she gave him a tender kiss on the cheek and left, the green-haired girl was blushing at that action. Momo approached him and asked, "Why didn't you agree to go out with her? You had a chance to be with the girl you like." Izuku, "Yes, I know it was my chance but..." Momo, "But?" Izuku, "I'd rather go out with you, Momo." At those words the brunette blushed. "B but W, what things are you saying, B Baka?" Izuku, "Don't misunderstand." He looked to the side and said, "We're a couple now, right? And if we want to make your parents believe that we really have a relationship, I have to get to know you better too. I want to know you better, Momo." Momo felt emotions running through her body and with a tender smile she said, "So you're asking me out on a date now?" Izuku, "Maybe." Momo, "How cute. If you just wanted to go on a date with me you should have told me." At that the brunette's stomach made a noise. Momo, "I'm sorry, I haven't eaten anything because I was chasing you guys." Izuku, "I couldn't eat anything either. Thank goodness Claude's didn't bother us in the afternoon." Izuku, "Come on, let's go eat somewhere." Momo, "Let's go." They both left the room and started walking down the hall, their hands lightly touching each other. The freckled boy felt Momo's fingers intertwine with his right hand. Izuku looked at her. Momo with a slight blush replied, "What's happening? Can't I hold your hand? You said it right now, I'm your girlfriend plus Claude's could be out of the academy." Izuku blushed lightly, feeling his heart racing a little. He just squeezed the black-haired girl's hand tenderly. But fortunately for them, Claude's wasn't outside. They both took a deep breath and continued walking hand in hand. The two young men arrived at a small restaurant where they sat down and ate together. While they did so they asked each other questions. In this way they got to know each other better. Momo, "Hey, you really like reading?" Izuku, "Yeah, well, although I haven't read as many books as you." Momo, "You know, I didn't think you were a guy who liked to read a lot, but it's nice to know that we share something in common. And what books have you read so far?" Izuku, "Well, I've read The Melody That I Loved the Most When Time Stopped." Momo, "I love those books, they are by the author Sismo." Izuku, Yes, they are his and I have read some excerpts from his light novel." Momo, "You know what, I'm really having a good time with you, Izuku. I never thought you would like the same books as me." The brunette let her hair down, leaving it loose. She certainly looked different with her hair loose. The green-haired man blushed slightly upon seeing her, unable to take his eyes off her. Momo, "What's wrong? Why are you looking at me so much?" Izuku, I'm sorry, what happens is that you look very pretty," he whispered softly. Momo, "What did you say? I didn't hear you?" Izuku, "I said you look very pretty." Momo saw how blushed Izuku was, and upon hearing clearly what the freckled boy said, he blushed slightly saying, "If you're the one who tells me that, I'll believe you, Baka." The brunette said that while looking to the side. Well, it was the first time a boy called her pretty. But for her it was the first time she blushed because of a boy's words. After that they talked a little longer, the freckled man paid the bill and they both left together, starting to walk through the streets. Izuku accompanied the brunette to her house. Standing in front of the big door, Momo thanked him for the appointment. Izuku, "Well, I guess an interrogation awaits me when I get home. My mom will ask me endless questions about our relationship." Momo just laughed a little as she said, "Your mom looked very happy. You are lucky to have a girlfriend as pretty as me," he said while laughing. But his laughter was cut off after Izuku's words. "I guess I'm very lucky to have you, Momo." Those words for that brief second caused new emotions in the brunette. Momo, "If you keep saying things like that." Izuku gave her a tender kiss on the cheek saying, "We don't see love." After saying that, he left the place. Momo just blew smoke from her ears. Iris, who had seen everything, said, "Well, for a fake relationship, they're not doing too bad, but I'm not giving up." On the other hand, abroad, more exactly in a certain city, we can see a beautiful black-haired girl with dark blue eyes walking through the streets accompanied by a boy with dark brown hair and black eyes. The beautiful girl would say, "I'm happy, Oni-chan, there's not much time left until I see him again. I wonder if he has forgotten me. But I already want to see it again, I'm so happy, Oni-chan." The boy would say, "It's true, we haven't seen him for a while. I'm sure that when he sees us he will be surprised. Tell me, sister, do you still have feelings for him?" At that question the black-haired girl stopped dead and with a slight blush she turned around to look at her brother while saying, "Who knows? The beautiful black-haired girl only showed a beautiful smile. This brother would give a slight smile saying, I see, I hope you don't have any competition, who knows, maybe they already took it from you. The beautiful black-haired girl with a kind smile and a warm expression said, Then I will fight to have a place in your heart. In this way a week had passed since Izuku decided to help the brunette with her lie. A week where the young people were observed but still remained calm. Both began to become closer because they agreed on several things in particular. All their classmates noticed the closeness that Izuku and Momo had. It was easy to know that this closeness had started since their teacher had assigned them a job together. Uraka began to get closer to Izuku. Momo gave Izuku advice on how to treat a lady on a date. Both kept their fake relationship a secret from others at least until one day when everything got out of hand. It was a Wednesday afternoon and the boys had swimming lessons with their teacher Toshinori Yagi. He was a muscular blonde but he was a good person. Toshinori, okay guys, today we're going to practice freestyle swimming. So please warm up your muscles well to avoid possible injury or cramps when swimming. The boys nodded as they waited for their classmates who were in the locker room putting on their swimming suits. A certain green-haired boy was not with his classmates as he was changing to accompany them. Mineta with drool dripping from his mouth would say, I already want to see the girls in swimming suits. It will definitely be heaven to see the bodies of Momo, Uraka, Minatsuyu. Kaminari, you're right old man. They both kept looking like perverts. Kirishima, those two don't change anymore. Kirishima, Bakugo, Todoroki, Sato were the ones who had a bit of muscles. At that moment the girls arrived from Mineta and Kaminari. It was a total disappointment to see them because unfortunately for them they were not wearing a swimsuit, at least not the one they imagined. Note, the outfit they were wearing was the same one they wore in the anime. End of note. Toshinori, they finally arrived, miss, just as the boys stretched their muscles before entering the pool. The girls nodded. Momo saw the boys but didn't see Izuku, which she found strange. She blushed when she realized that she had already seen him without a shirt on that occasion. Uraka looked at Izuku because she wanted him to see her in the swimming suit. The reason was simple, they always had swimming classes with a teacher, but since she was absent due to illness, that week they were going to have swimming classes with the boys for the first time. At that the brunette's eyes rose, meeting the gaze of a certain green-haired boy who was coming in. She blushed at seeing him because now she could see the freckled boy's body more clearly. The girls couldn't be a little surprised when they saw Izuku without a shirt. The freckled boy had a pretty hard body since he was always training with weights. Uraka couldn't help but blush when she saw him. The freckled boy approached and greeted them. None of them could say a word except for Momo. The black-haired girl approached his ear and whispered, I see that your body made a good impression on the girls in the classroom. They're looking at you a lot. I think I'll get jealous if they don't stop looking at my boyfriend. The brunette let out a small laugh, but her smile faded when she saw how Izuku kept looking at her. With a tender smile he said, You look very pretty in that outfit. There they were again, those emotions she felt that time, now they hit her with more intensity. Izuku had said that in a low voice so that the others wouldn't hear. Momo with a tender blush and in a low voice said, Gra. Thanks love. Izuku blushed at that and wondered why she had gone into girlfriend mode if Claude wasn't around. Uraka saw how the two of them kept looking at each other. She approached and took Izuku by the arm saying, Izuku-kun, how do I look? Izuku, you look pretty Uraka-san, he said a little nervously. Momo didn't understand why he didn't get nervous with her but he did with Uraka. Uraka blushed a little and thanked the compliment. After that Izuku left with his companions. Toshinori, okay, since everyone has flexed their muscles, let's start with 3 men and 3 women to start with the freestyle. The rest wait for your companions to finish their route. Unfortunately for Izuku Claudes they were watching calmly from the side. One of the girls was Momo. Once the first 6 were positioned to start, Toshinori gave the order for them to jump into the pool. The young people jumped in and began to swim to the other end of the pool as they had to do 4 courses, 2 laps and 2 trips back. Already on the 3rd lap, Izuku noticed that among all those who were swimming, the brunette was not there. Izuku began to worry and it was no wonder since the brunette was at the deepest part of the pool drowning, the reason being that she had caught a strong cramp in her right leg. Upon feeling the pain she screamed unconsciously as she did so she swallowed a lot of water. Momo was slowly losing consciousness. Claudes had noticed that the brunette had not come out of the water like Toshinori and the other boys. Toshinori was about to jump into the water just like Claudes when his eyes opened wide when he saw Izuku in the air who had jumped into the pool. The freckled boy swam to the deepest part of the pool, seeing how the brunette was unconscious. He took her in his arms and without wasting time he rose to the surface, swimming until he reached the other end of the pool. Without wasting time Izuku checked to see if she was still breathing. When he noticed that her breathing had stopped, he immediately thought nothing of it and brought his lips closer to hers, giving her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Everyone was worried about their partner. "Izuku, please Momo wake up." He again gave her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. This time the brunette reacted by starting to cough up all the water she had swallowed. Izuku, seeing her, could only give her a hug saying, "It's a good thing you woke up." Momo didn't understand what was happening. Everyone gave Izuku a big round of applause for his immediate reaction to save his partner. "Toshinori, young lady Yaoyorozu, go to the infirmary to get checked out completely. Please Miss Ashido accompany your companion." Mina nodded and accompanied the brunette to the infirmary. Uraka wondered to herself if Izuku would act that way if it were her, and even though it was first aid, it hurt her when Izuku's lips met Momo's. Izuku went to the men's bathroom once he was alone and it exploded, throwing smoke out of his ears while saying, "What were I thinking? I kissed her without thinking. Will she hate me? Curse. And now in front of everyone I'm a dead man, Claude's 4 eyes are going to kill me. No, it was just for first aid, so that doesn't count as a kiss, right?" Izuku shook his head blushing. "But without thinking, my body moved just for her. TCH, you can't fall in love Izuku, what you two have is just a lie. I like Uraka-san, right? Or so I thought, but this week I spent with Momo was the best of my life. I love seeing her when she's in her girlfriend mode, without a doubt something like that couldn't happen to me, this is just a lie." What Claude was thinking about entered the bathroom. When Izuku saw him, he could only say, "Well Dad, I think we'll see each other soon." Claude with a serious look approached Izuku until he was face to face with him. The freckled man just swallowed. "Claude, thank you." "Izuku, huh?" "Claude, thank you for saving Miss Momo." "Izuku, I would do that after all, she is my no." "Claude, you can stop lying now. In the time I've been watching you and since I've known Miss Momo, I know that she lied about you two being a couple. Her reason was to avoid engagement to Todoroki's youngest son." Izuku froze at those words. "Claude, Mr. Yaoyorozu asked me to keep an eye on you because he is not convinced about your relationship. From the beginning he knew that everything about you was a lie. But there was something I was wondering, and that was, what do you gain from all this? Why follow him in his lie? As far as I know, you spoke very few times to say that you had a relationship beyond simple friends. But this week I could see how Miss Momo has started to smile more than usual. And it all started when he told that lie." Claude put his hand on Izuku's shoulder saying, "Please take care of Miss Momo, I want her to keep smiling like she has until now. Before my eyes I don't see a fake relationship, I see a real relationship. I'll tell Mr. Yaoyorozu that, so don't worry kid." Izuku felt a little relieved upon hearing those words. Claude turned around and was about to leave when he said, "However, you better put your feelings in order with that Uraka girl. In addition, Miss Momo will have competition. Anyway, I wish you luck and take care of your girlfriend, Miss Momo." After saying that, he left the bathroom without realizing that someone had heard their conversation. Meanwhile Momo was already in the infirmary, luckily for her she only had to rest. Mina told him what had happened and how Izuku had rushed to rescue her and given her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Upon hearing that last thing, the brunette blushed as much as possible. Mina with a mischievous look would say, "What is it between you two?" Izuku looked desperate when he saw that you didn't wake up, and when you woke up he hugged you as if he didn't want to lose you. Momo couldn't hide her blush as she felt her heart race upon hearing what Izuku did for her. "Mina, are you guys dating? I think they make a nice couple." Momo didn't answer anything, which increased Mina's suspicions, who just smiled tenderly at her as she said, "It is certainly noticeable that there is love between you." At that there was a knock on the door of the infirmary. Izuku asked behind the door, "Can I come in?" "Mina, how sweet, he's still worried about you." She approached Momo's ear and whispered, "At least you should reward him with a kiss." At those words Momo burst out, smoke coming out of her ears. "Mina, if you can pass Izuku." The green-haired man entered the room, and when he did so, his gaze and Momo's met. "Mina, okay, I'll let you talk in peace, I'm leaving." The pink-haired girl left the room and closed the door, leaving the two alone. Izuku approached Momo, who was lying on the bed in the infirmary. Izuku, are you better now? Momo, why yes, I'm better now. Mina told me what happened. Thanks for saving me. Izuku, oh, you're welcome. I couldn't let anything happen to my girlfriend. Momo, it's true, I'm your girlfriend now. Without thinking, she hugged him tenderly while saying, I'm lucky to be your girlfriend. Those words made the redhead blush, who, somewhat shy, responded to the hug, feeling a warm sensation in his chest. Momo separated from him and remembered Mina's words. At least you should reward him with a kiss. Momo, close your eyes for a moment. She said, looking to the side, blushing deeply. Izuku, what for? Momo, just do it. Baka, hurry up. Izuku, okay. He closed his eyes just as she had asked him to. Momo, make sure they are closed properly. I don't want you to open them. Izuku, okay. Momo slowly approached Izuku's lips to give him a kiss. Izuku, keeping his eyes closed, said in his thoughts, why do you want me to close my eyes? Could it be that she is going to kiss me? No, don't get your hopes up, Izuku, as if that were going to happen, but a part of me wants that to happen. I want to feel her soft lips again. Momo, being centimeters away from kissing Izuku's lips, opened her eyes to see him one last time. Her face was very flushed, their lips were practically touching. So much so that they could both feel each other's breathing. Izuku in his thoughts would say, I feel his breathing so close, is he really going to kiss me? Kami-sama, until you finally remembered me. Arigato, Kami-sama. Momo's nerves got the better of her and she shouted, I can't do it, Baka. After saying that, he slapped Izuku hard, causing him to fly a few meters and fall to the ground. Izuku, ouch, ouch. It was too good to be true. She said as tears came out of her eyes. Momo, I'm sorry, Izuku. Izuku stood up and with a smile said, I guess I deserved that blow. Momo, huh? Izuku, I'm sorry, I know I shouldn't have kissed you even if it was for first aid. I don't know if it counts as a first kiss or not, but I apologize for being the first one to touch your lips. I know you would want it to be the person you like and not me. So I deserve that blow. After all, I'm just your fake boyfriend, so I have no right to feel your lips. At the end of the day, I'm just a lie. Momo felt her chest hurt upon hearing those words. Momo, Izuku. Izuku, but even if it's just a lie, I'll jump to save you as many times as necessary. I must fulfill my role as your true, fake boyfriend. I will be by your side until you have the courage to face your father. After saying that, he showed the brunette a warm smile. Well, I'll let you rest easy. I'll go back to the others. After saying that, the freckled man left the room, leaving the brunette alone. Momo just grabbed the wreck and said in a low voice, I'm afraid that the day will come when I'll have enough courage to confront my father. Because I know that when that day comes, our lie will come to an end and we will be as we were before. There will be nothing that unites us from what we are now. In this way, the school day had come to an end. We can see how Izuku walked alongside Momo, accompanied by Bakugo, Mina, Jiru, Kirihima, Kaminari, and Uraka. The group of young people had agreed to go out for a bite to eat and then go to karaoke to hang out. They had had a lot of fun as they had talked about various things, not to mention that it was fun to see Izuku and Bakugo sing. After a while, the freckled man had accompanied the girl to her house. As they were walking, she took Izuku's hand in a tender squeeze. It was already a habit for both of them to hold hands. After leaving Momo at her house, the freckled boy went to his own. We can see the brunette lying on her huge bed, the only image of Izuku, Momo's lips passing through her mind. Her face was very flushed, which made her look very tender. But he became saddened as he remembered Izuku's words. At the end of the day, I'm just a lie. Momo, what if we weren't a lie? The brunette covered her face with a pillow, trying to clarify her feelings, which a certain freckled man had awakened in her. The next day, the freckled boy was sitting in his seat waiting for classes to start. Bakugo turned around asking, Hey Deku. Don't you think Ashawa-sensei has taken long enough? Izuku, now that you mention it, you're right, I wonder if something happened. After 5 minutes, Ashawa would arrive at the living room while saying, Good morning, classes, I have good news for you, you will have 2 new classmates. All the girls screamed with excitement. Ashawa, with a serious look, silenced the entire room in seconds. Well, as I was saying, you will have 2 new companions, you can come in now. At that, the boy saw how the classroom door opened wide, revealing a beautiful black-haired girl with dark blue eyes and a boy with dark brown hair and black eyes. They were both almost the same height. The boy was a few centimeters taller than her. Kaminari and Mineta couldn't help but blush when they saw the black-haired girl because of how beautiful she was. Izuku, seeing that girl, couldn't help but stop looking at her because she seemed familiar to him, as if he had seen her before. The beautiful black hair looked at each of the students, and when she saw the hair of a certain green-haired boy, she couldn't help but smile, and without thinking she went and hugged him tenderly in front of everyone. Izuku, huh? All, eh? The beautiful black-haired girl would say. I'm happy that we meet again, Izuku-kun. Momo and Uraka were shocked by what they saw. Izuku, oh. Excuse me, do we know each other? The boy approached Izuku and said. I'm sorry, I told my sister that she had to introduce herself first. It's a pleasure to see you again, friend. Bakugo, deku. Do you know this extra? Izuku, I'm sorry, who are you? Boy, I see you've forgotten about us. Well, it's been a while since we saw each other. My name is Ethan Sheffield and this is my sister Lisbeth Sheffield. Hearing those names, Izuku opened his eyes wide, remembering those two people. Izuku, you guys. Lisbeth, you already reminded us. Izuku hugged Lisbeth, saying. How have you been? You don't know how much I missed you. Ethan hugged the two people present because it was a reunion of friends. The rest just looked at them in surprise. Ashawa, I see you already know each other, that will make things easier. Momo, without thinking, grabbed Izuku, separating him from Lisbeth's hug. Everyone noticed this. Momo, hugging Izuku, said. Nice to meet you, I'm Momo Yaoyorozu, Izuku's girlfriend. There was silence, but everyone shouted in unison. What? Izuku in his thoughts would say. What did you do, Momo? Uraka, she and Izuku-kun are boyfriends. Lisbeth and Ethan were speechless, as was the rest of the class. Mina stood up from her seat, saying. I knew it. I knew there was something between you two. Ethan just let out a small laugh, saying. I see you have a beautiful girlfriend, friend, congratulations. Lisbeth with a warm smile said. Nice to meet you. From now on I will be your rival. Everyone shouted again, eh? Mina, kya? A declaration of war for Izuku's heart. Momo was surprised at what the black-haired girl had said. The brunette got carried away by the moment and said all that now there was no turning back. Ashawa, wow, this is more interesting than the Rose of Guadalupe. He said while eating some popcorn. Momo hugged Izuku tightly, saying. Hey? Don't you think it's too late to declare war? After all, my Izuku only loves me, my true love. She said, quite blushing. Izuku in his thoughts would say. Damn, everyone's looking at me. Why did you have to say all that, Momo? He replied. Yes, my love, I'll love why you alone. Momo, you see, we are very happy. Lisbeth, I'm happy for both of you. Izuku is someone important to me, but I'll just ask you one last thing. If you are his girlfriend, you can give him a kiss on the lips. If you do, I will withdraw my declaration of war. Ethan, what a way to get attention on our first day. Uraka didn't know how to feel about what had happened. Momo, I'll do it later, it's all just a kiss, nothing more. Izuku said to himself in his thoughts. Damn, he'll slap me again. Kami-sama, why do you hate me so much? Goodbye to my chance with Uraka-san, after this she won't even want to talk to me. Momo stared at Izuku and began to bring her lips closer to his. Everyone was looking at this, expectantly waiting for what was going to happen. Lisbeth was just calm because she knew that the brunette wouldn't be able to do it. Asawa just watched this while eating popcorn, when Claude suddenly entered the room, saying. Sorry for the interruption. Faced with this action, he interrupted the moment, saving the two young people. Ashawa, but what are you doing here, Claudes? It's not your turn to teach yet. Claudes, I'm sorry, but I came to ask you to change the time just for today, since at 11:30 I have important things to do, so I won't be able to attend classes. And I wanted to ask you to change the time just for today, so that the kids don't miss their English class. Ashawa, I see, it's no problem for me. Okay class, I'll see you in an hour, everyone go to your seats. By the way, Claudes, these are the new students. Claudes, understood. Ashawa left the room and all the boys sat down again. Lisbeth, I guess the kiss can wait for later. Izuku-kun, can we have lunch together? Izuku, yeah, of course. Ethan, okay, let's sit down, sister. Both young people passed by the couple. Momo was blushing a lot, so she went to sit in her place. For the first time, Izuku was glad to see Claude's. Momo, upon reaching her seat, burst out, smoke billowing from her ears. Now she had gotten Izuku into a lot of trouble. Momo in her thoughts would say. Why did I get so upset when she hugged him? Well, it's normal, right? I'm his girlfriend. Yes, I did it because Claude's was watching us. That's the reason, right? On the other hand, in Izuku's mind. Ah, really, Lisbeth declared war on Momo. Could it be that he likes me? No, this can't be happening, or can it? Did Momo get jealous? Is that why he hugged me and confessed everything? Am I in what they call the popular phase? That's why all this is happening to me. Damn, even though everything got out of control, I'm happy. The English class had passed relatively normally except for 2 people. Before finishing English class, Claude asked Izuku to speak outside the classroom alone while the rest of the class packed their things. Once outside the room, Claude gave a look saying, So, who is that girl who hugged you? So you were cheating on Miss Momo, huh? You've got guts, brat. He said while loading a gun. Izuku, let me speak please. Izuku explained to him what happened. Claude, I see, well, thank goodness I arrived on time. Izuku, you're watching us, aren't you? You heard everything, right? Claude just looked to the side saying. Maybe. Izuku, are you a spy? Claude, well, now they will have to prove that they are really a couple. Izuku, yes, I know, thanks for the help, Claude. Claude, let's go back to the living room. They both entered the classroom, and 10 minutes later the English class had come to an end. When Claude left, Ashawa entered and said, Well, this morning I forgot to tell you about the other news. As you may know, next Friday our academy will hold a small cultural event. So think about what we're going to show this year. If I heard correctly, I think Class B will present a play. So think about what you'll do while I get some sleep. After saying that, he got into his sleeping bag. The whole class was excited. Momo and Ida were in charge of the course, so they decided to listen to everyone's ideas, and the ones with the most votes would be the ones they were going to carry out. Mineta and Kaminari proposed the idea of a maid cafe. They just wanted to see the girls dressed as maids because they had not very holy images in their heads. Others voted to do something scary. The girls voted to make some kind of food menu and sell it, and others decided to do a play that would surpass that of Class B. Lisbeth raised her hand and said, We could interpret the story of Snow White and the 7 Dwarves or that of Sleeping Beauty. I wouldn't have a problem playing the role as long as Izuku is my prince. Those words upset Momo. The brunette refused the idea. She simply didn't want to share Izuku. So the morning went by voting on ideas. At lunchtime all the boys except Ethan and Bakugo grabbed Izuku and with a very serious look said, Midoriya, I think we need to talk about your relationship with Miss Momo. After saying that, they dragged Izuku out of the room. Izuku, while holding on to the doorframe, shouted, Help me, Momo. Momo could only watch as the classroom door closed and Izuku had disappeared behind it. Momo just laughed a little, but her smile disappeared when she felt Mina's hand on her shoulder. Mina, don't think you're absolved, Momo-san. In the same way, Momo was dragged out of the room. The only ones left in the room were Ethan, Lisbeth, Uraka, and Bakugo. Ethan just laughed a little at the scene as he said, It seems that Izuku hasn't changed at all. Tell me, little sister, are you going to give up on Izuku? Liz, of course not, after all I don't want to lose easily. Ethan, I see, good luck now. Bakugo, hey, you're extra. What are you, stupid deku? Ethan, his best friend, I guess. Bakugo, huh? Best friend? His best friend is me extra. Ethan, yeah, if you say so. Although it may not seem like it, if you want to compete, I have no problem. Bakugo, are you challenging me? Momo and Izuku had been questioned beyond measure by their classmates. A certain brunette was lying on the table. She was a little sad. Uraka, I knew he and she were a couple. This is my fault. I think I made Izuku-kun wait too long. I should have told him my feelings before. It's too late now, isn't it? No, I won't give up yet. Maybe I'll have a chance. After school, I'll tell him my feelings too. What I heard that time will be true. I must ask Izuku-kun. After being questioned, Izuku as promised has lunch with Lisbeth and Ethan. Momo never left Izuku's side. Izuku had a small tick in his right eye. Well, Bakugo was also sitting at the same table as them. He looked with hatred at Ethan, who only smiled mockingly. Lisbeth, say Izuku-kun, I'll feed you. The beautiful black-haired girl smiled warmly at him. Momo just pulled Izuku against her as she said, no need, I'll feed him, after all I'm his girlfriend. Momo, say oh love. Izuku blushed a lot when he saw Momo's expression and said to himself, damn, she looks even more cute in her girlfriend mode. Arigato kami-sama. I can't believe two such cute girls want to feed me, this is paradise. From another table, Mineta and Kaminari cursed Izuku as they watched the scene of two beautiful girls trying to feed him. Mina, Fufu Momo will have competition, this will be fun to see what you say girls. Tsuyu, I was definitely surprised to learn that Midoriya-chan and Momo have a relationship that they had kept well hidden. Toru, true, but in my opinion they make a nice couple. After that, classes continued relatively normally except for Izuku, who couldn't stop thinking about Lisbeth because he had somewhat blurry memories of her. In this way the school day had come to an end. Everyone was leaving the classroom due to certain problems. Uraka had to leave earlier. She did not look at Izuku at any time. Before leaving the room, Momo intertwined her fingers with Izuku's, asking him for a moment to talk alone. Izuku agreed to that and Lisbeth told him, we'll wait for you outside Izuku, we're coming Ethan. These two went out accompanied by a certain blonde who had a rivalry with Ethan. Momo led Izuku to the back of the school upon reaching that place. She apologized for everything that happened today. Izuku, it's okay Momo, there's no turning back anyway, although I was surprised that Lisbeth declared war. Momo, what relationship did you have with her? Izuku, huh? Momo, I mean, it seems that she likes you a lot. I don't hesitate to say that she would be my rival even if our relationship is a lie. Izuku, to tell the truth, I have vague memories with her but a part of me felt happy when I saw her, as if I had recovered something I had lost or forgotten. Momo, I see. Izuku, to tell the truth, I was surprised when you hugged me. I don't know if it was me, but I would swear that was jealousy. Momo blushed and looked away to the side saying, I don't know what you're talking about. Why should I be jealous? That's your imagination, Baka. Izuku, I guess so. There would be no way that a girl as pretty as you would be jealous of someone like me, that would be impossible. Momo, maybe. Izuku, huh? Momo, maybe I felt a little jealous but it's normal, right? You are mine and no one else's whether it's a lie or not. Izuku blushed at the brunette's words, she again stared at Izuku blushing at what he had said. Momo, well calm, come on let's go Baka. The brunette walked past Izuku who just took her hand making her blush. Izuku, maybe. Momo, maybe? Izuku, maybe this lie will end up hurting me. Momo, huh? Why do you say that? Izuku, because there will come a day when you find the courage to face your father and you will no longer need me by your side. To be honest, I don't want that day to ever come. Momo just felt the emotions hit her hard, causing a big blush to take over her face. Momo, I'm also afraid that that day will come. At the end of it all our supposed courtship came to an end. I ended up staying with Lisbeth, now we are a couple, we got married, everything was very nice. Bakugo and Ethan after graduating from the academy became business partners and together they created one of the best companies in all of Japan, they were undoubtedly doing quite well. As for Momo, she tripled her family's fortune like never before, yes I know, the millionaire girl is now richer than before. Miss Iris Necron has resigned from working for the Yaoyorozu family and is now working for me. As for my relationship with Lisbeth, it is slowly collapsing. Well, it would be better if I explained to you how everything ended this way, for that we have to go back to the part where we left off in the previous chapter. Flashback. They both intertwined their fingers in a tender couple hold. Momo, what if? Izuku, what if? Momo, and if I want this lie to come true? The brunette couldn't finish speaking as Lisbeth arrived at the place where they were interrupting the moment. Lisbeth, come on Izuku-kun, your mom must be waiting for us at home. Izuku, my mom? Lisbeth, oh right, this was a surprise. Ethan and I will stay with you Izuku, your mom said we could. We can sleep together tonight. Momo hugged Izuku saying. You're wrong if you think Izuku is going to sleep with you tonight. He is going to sleep with me. Izuku in his thoughts would say. Hey. Lisbeth, we'll see about that. You still haven't given him the kiss I asked for. That only means that you're not a couple. Therefore, Izuku can sleep with me. Don't worry. I'll give him the love that you don't give him. Momo and Lisbeth looked at each other face to face, sparks flying. Izuku was afraid of the tension between the two young women. The freckled man just took a deep breath at what was happening. 3 hours later. We can see the freckled man sleeping in his room. He was sleeping on a futon, and Lisbeth was sleeping in his bed. Next to Izuku was Momo. Izuku, how did all this end up like this? Lisbeth could have slept in the other room that Mom offered her, but she decided to sleep in mine, and Momo was not far behind. Izuku turned his gaze to see Momo, who was sleeping peacefully. Izuku remembered Momo's words. And if I want this lie to become true? He said in a low voice. I wish you would have finished saying your sentence. I want to know if you also want this lie to not be just a lie. Why, since all this started, I end up thinking about you. I'm not sure of my feelings anymore, I just know that I don't want this lie to end. I want to continue being by your side, I want to continue seeing when you get into girlfriend mode. Izuku closed his eyes, falling asleep. After a few minutes, Momo slowly opened her eyes with a beautiful blush because she had heard Izuku's words. The brunette approached him, snuggling up tightly to Izuku's body, intertwining her fingers with his. She said in a low voice. In the end, the courage I will have to gather will be to tell you what I feel for you, but I don't want to lose you, Baka. I want to continue being your girlfriend. The brunette closed her eyes and fell asleep next to Izuku. The next day Claude went to look for Momo at Izuku's house, saying that his parents were going to have a family dinner and that he could bring some friends. Momo certainly wouldn't leave Izuku alone with Lisbeth, and Lisbeth wouldn't leave the path free for Momo. Momo invited Ethan and Lisbeth since she knew her rival would go anyway. The young men were getting into the limousine, and then Bakugo left his house and saw Izuku and Claude getting into the bright limousine. He asked, Hey Deku, where are you going with that extra? Izuku, Kachan, let's go to Momo's house. Izuku saw that Kachan was no longer in front of him. Kachan said from inside the limo. Hurry up, nerd, we have to go. Izuku just laughed a little. Ethan, wow, he invited me, but you can't stand the fact that I'm his best friend and you snuck in. I feel sorry for you. Kachan, extra silence. The ponytail invited me, right? Momo, yeah, of course, Bakugo. Bakugo, you see it, extra. After arriving at Momo's mansion, her parents welcomed her, not expecting that their daughter would bring friends to the house. The young people introduced themselves formally, while a certain brunette was very direct when introducing herself. Lisbeth, nice to meet you, Mr. and Mrs. Yaoyorozu. My name is Lisbeth Sheffield. I am Momo's rival. And if I like Izuku, then I won't give up. Izuku said to himself. She went crazy. Mr. Yaoyorozu, you are a nice girl, I see that my daughter has a lot of competition. Luckily for him, Iris wasn't in the house, she had gone out. After a while they had lunch quietly. After 2 hours all the young people were in the brunette's room playing a game that Lisbeth had proposed. Called Finding Love, this game consisted of rolling a pair of dice, and depending on the number you got, you had to move a certain number of squares, like Monopoly to be more precise. While we were playing, everything ended as I explained to you at the beginning of the game. I ended up marrying Lisbeth. Well, now you are up to date with everything that happened. Lisbeth hugged Izuku tenderly as she said. It's your turn to roll the dice, honey. Izuku, could you let me go? Lisbeth, no, I don't want to, you're my husband. Izuku, it's just a game. Momo emanated a murderous aura as she looked at the couple. Lisbeth just smiled at her, making the brunette even more jealous. Izuku rolled the dice. Izuku, okay, I have to advance 9 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Let's see what card I get. Letter, you cheat on your wife with your servant. When she finds out about your affair, a lot of blood is spilled. Izuku, what kind of game is this? Lisbeth with a sour look said. So you were cheating on me, huh, honey? Momo's room door slammed shut. Izuku gave a scream. Momo, it must be Iris, she's in the house. Izuku in his thoughts would say. Damn it, for a moment I thought I was going to die. The blonde rolled the dice, revealing that he had to advance 10 spaces. Upon reaching the 10th square, he took the card that corresponded to him. Letter, your company becomes the first among all the others, you triple its assets, making you and your partner multimillionaires. Kakan and Ethan bumped their fists saying, brilliant. Izuku, seeing them, could only think. Until the game started they were not getting along, and now. I am honestly speechless. Ethan, now it's my turn. He rolled the dice and had to advance 4 places. Lisbeth, how lucky Oni-chan that you got a love box. Ethan, that seems good, let's see what the letter says. Card, in the middle of one of your investments you meet the love of your life, you and the partner on your left hand begin a beautiful relationship. Ethan, but the one on my left hand side is. He looked at the brunette who got a little nervous. Lisbeth, wow, how nice, a beautiful couple has formed, without a doubt you and Momo make a lovely couple. Izuku was a little annoyed at those words. Ethan, I hope we get along. Momo, same here. Izuku, tch, let's continue with the game. Bakugo noticed how his friend had become a little upset. Momo, well it's my turn. At that moment Iris would come in with some sandwiches for the boys to eat. Lisbeth looked at Iris because she was the servant. The young people thanked for the snacks. Momo, Iris, do you want to play with us? Iris thought about it for a second, looking at Izuku, and agreed. The beautiful blonde sat next to Izuku, which caught Momo's attention. Momo, well, it was my turn. She rolled the dice, indicating that she had to go up 7 spaces. The brunette advanced until she reached her destination and took the card which said, you and your new partner are doing great, your fortune is growing more and more. Everyone looked at Momo while saying in their thoughts, the rich girl is rotting more and more in money. Iris's first turn had come for her first time. She had to advance 10 squares, the square she was assigned to was a pink one which indicated something romantic. Iris, now I guess I have to raise a card. You and your lover, the person at your right hand, decide to get married. On your honeymoon, you share a beautiful and unforgettable time together. Iris blushed at what she had read because the person next to her was Izuku, who with a shy voice said, Baka, at least you should have been less abrupt. Izuku, that's not my fault. It's natural, isn't it? Momo and Lisbeth looked at Izuku and Iris with a murderous look. Izuku felt like the game, instead of bringing him fun, brought misfortune, at least for him. Izuku, well I guess it's my turn. This same thing was said. Damn, how do you win this game? Let's see, I got a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. I got the same square as Momo. Momo and Izuku looked into each other's eyes for a second. Izuku, oh. I wonder what this letter will say. Letter, you need to clarify your feelings regarding that person you have in your life. If she holds your hand, it is because there is something she did not tell you. You must be the one to take the initiative so that your relationship becomes a reality. Izuku had read it in his thoughts, something told him that he shouldn't read it out loud. Momo, what does the card say, Izuku? Izuku saw how the brunette looked at him tenderly. He could only feel how endless emotions ran through his body. A slight blush appeared on his cheeks. He looked away to the side, saying, it's nothing important, let's continue with the game. In this way the game continued until it reached its end, ending with Izuku and Iris together with 2 children. Ethan's relationship had fallen apart. Lisbeth had returned abroad after separating from her ex-husband. Bakugo met a beautiful girl whom he married and was happy. Ethan decided to focus on his projects and business. And Momo was left alone with a great fortune. After finishing the game, the boys put the game away. Momo and Lisbeth said, we will never play this game again, it's not very fun. Iris, for you because you ended up alone, but for me and Izuku it was fun, right? Izuku, yeah, it was fun. Iris, they see it. Izuku would look at the time on his phone and say, oh, it's late, we should go home. Momo, hey, if you want, you can stay overnight, Izuku. Lisbeth, you are so kind, Momo-san, to let us sleep here. Momo, I didn't invite you. Ethan and Bakugo can stay, but I can send you home in a limo. Lisbeth, come on, don't tell me you're afraid I'll steal Izuku from you. But, do you really think I'll leave Izuku all to yourself? I am the best girl to be by his side, I am his special childhood friend, but what are you to him? Momo, I am his girlfriend, the owner of his lips and the one in his heart. Lisbeth, well if you're so sure about that then give me a week. Momo, a week? So that? Lisbeth, To make Izuku fall in love with me and show you that I can win his heart. Momo, huh? And why do you think I'm going to accept? Lisbeth, if it's true what you say about you being in his heart and all that, you won't have anything to worry about, right? We will only date for a week in which I will try to win her heart, but if I don't succeed I will leave Izuku alone for you. Izuku in his thoughts would say. Lisbeth, what are you saying? Also, don't use me as a game. Lisbeth, do you accept or not? Momo would have her head down thinking. Lisbeth, well, I understand your concern. It's natural that Izuku could fall in love with me and forget about you. Momo was upset by those words. Momo, I accept. Ethan and Bakugo would say. Do you want to bet on who wins? The two young men stared at each other with a smile, taking money out of their pockets and saying. Let the betting begin. Iris, let it be 2 weeks. Momo, huh? Iris, I joined the challenge to fall in love with Izuku. I also want to get to know him a little more and this is a perfect opportunity. Who knows, maybe he can win. Momo, Lisbeth and Izuku shouted. Hey! Well my dear readers, this is the end of the chapters of this story. I'm taking a break but I'm glad this story is getting a lot of support from you. You can now place your bets on who will be able to cause more feelings in Izuku. Let the game of theories begin.